Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Warzone Season 2 new settings. I'm going to be going over my audio, sensitivity, graphics, and all that. And also how to make your game pop and look less grayish and whatnot. So let's get into it. I don't use keyboard and mouse, I just use a controller on PC. But this is going to be for people with that are on console and the people that are on PC. So I play on default because I have bumpers in the back. If you have a PS4 controller, or if you're on like the PS4 console or using a PS4 controller on PC, you can get this thing called a back button attachment. It's made by Sony. Basically just gives you two bumpers in the back, and I use that to crouch and slide and to jump. And it's definitely changed the way I move around and the way I play Warzone. So definitely get that. It's only like 20-30 bucks. Bumper ping off. I shoot my bumpers because it's just faster. So it's faster to press R1 than it is to hold R2. Stick layout, just default. Controller orientation, I don't know what that means, but just keep it on up. Vibration, you want that to be off, but some people like it to be on, so it's really just personal preference. I'd run a 6.6. I've been running 6.6 for I don't know how many years. Let's see. I got all this on one. Standard for all this. Then ADS behavior, I have on hold. Then I got chain zoom, sharp share input to sprint, tactical sprint, and focus. Automatic tac sprint. You want this for Warzone. If you play multiplayer, you might not really like it too much. You might just want automatic sprint. Equipment behavior, hold, weapon mount, ADS, and melee. I see other people like just use like ADS or like double tap ADS, but ADS plus melee is just the smoothest one for me. Especially for Warzone, you want prioritize interact or tap to interact, but then you have to hold to reload. So with prioritize interact, you can tap to reload and or interact. So if you have something in front of you, you'll be able to pick it up. But if you don't, you just reload. And the arm plate behavior, apply all, of course. So you're not just holding triangle while you're playing up. For the advanced, target aim assist on. Aim assist type, you want to be on Black Ops. This is the big one. Your aim response curve type, you want that to be on dynamic. So for most people, probably be on standard. It basically just makes aiming smoother and like your aim assist just feel a little bit tighter. ADS sense transition time, you want that to be on instant. So this is the big one, custom sensitivity per zoom. I haven't really messed with it too much. I have like my high zooms on like a 1.2 just because they're more like zoomed in, so you want them to be a little bit quicker for like the flicks, especially if you're using like a sniper. But for low zoom, I believe this is by default on 1. So I highly recommend putting it down. I would like try to put it at 80 and see how it feels. But this is basically like for like your iron sights and anything that like doesn't have like a 1x scope or something like that. So I definitely recommend putting this below 1. Dead zones is really just up to your controller. I mean, let's get down to these real quick. So you want left trigger and right trigger to be on 0 if you shoot with the triggers or use like Semtex or your throw knife or whatnot. And then your left stick, right stick max, you want that to 1.0. And then for your left stick and right stick, this is something you gotta go in a private match and just see like where do you stop getting stick drift. So at 0.08 for my right stick, that's where I would feel comfortable. And at 0.04, that's where I feel comfortable for my left stick. That's where I don't get any stick drift or just get like minimum amount of stick drift. Auto move forward, I have it off. For Warzone, some people do like it. Tactical sprint behavior, double tap. Grounded mantle, I have that off. Automatic airborne mantle off. Automatic ground mantle off. Inverted slide and dive behavior standard. Bludgeon underwater movement. Parachute auto deploy, I have it off. If you have it on, it's going to pull your parachute before you get close. So basically, if you have it off, you can pull your chute right before you're about to hit the ground instead of having it like when you're like 200 meters up. So it just gives you more movement, it gives you more freedom, and allows you to just, you know, get down to the ground quicker. Sprint and DoorDash, have that on. Ledge, hang, mantle behavior, I have movement base off. What else we got here? Weapon mount, movement, exit, I have it on. Weapon mount, exit delay, short, and then on. Scoreboard and map behavior toggle, moderate, hold. So whenever you're playing Warzone, for the most FPS, you want to have on full screen exclusive, and then your monitor, and then select your graphics card. Obviously, if you have more than one, then select the one you want to use. You can keep this on auto, but I just like to put it on 240. Monitors, resolution, like I said, you can have it on auto, but I just like to keep it in 1920. Turn off dynamic resolution. You want automatic aspect ratio. Turn on VSync. Turn on both the VSyncs. I have custom frame rate limit, so for the menu and the out of focus frame rate limit, I like to have it at 70, because when I have it at 60 and if I drop like 1 or 2 frames, that'll bring me down to like 50, 56. Then when I'm in the menus and whatnot, and like go into my creating a class, it just like stutters and lags a little bit. So I put up to 70 just so if it does drop, it only drops to like 65 instead of 55. So it's just a little more smoother in the menus, and then I just capped it at my monitor's refresh rate. I barely hit 240, especially when I'm like recording and playing Warzone. I'm probably averaging about like 130, 140. So I just keep it 240 just because. 2.2 for your display gamma. Brightness is all up to you. I think mine's at 50, yeah, 51. What else we got? HDR, you want off, even if you have HDR monitor, because I do have HDR monitor, but I just don't like the way it looks. It just looks really dark. I'm not a big fan of it. If you know how to use HDR correctly, then go ahead, use it. But I'm not a big fan of it. Your render resolution should be 100. And it should, when you put it to 100, it should just be your monitor's resolution, or 1920 by 1080. For upscaling and sharpening, you want a fidelity cast. I have mine at 80. Put it to at least 60 or higher. I wouldn't go up to 100 though, because it might look a little too grainy. Because what sharpening does is just sharpen the edges of different objects or weapons. So if you have it on 100, your gun and different types of walls and rocks might look grainy on the outline of them. So I'll just keep it between like 60 to 80 or 60, 85 or something like that. Just don't max it out. I wouldn't go past like 85. Filmic SMA to T2X. And I have mine on normal. You can put it on higher ultra quality if you have a better PC, but lower normal is pretty good. Memory scale you have at 90. Here we get, if you're on PC, obviously here we get into the details and textures. So texture resolution normal, texture filter anisotropic normal, nearby level of detail low, distant level of detail low, clutter draw distance short, particle quality high, particle quality level very low, bullet impacts on, persistent damage layers on, shader quality high, tessellation off, terrain memory max, on-demand texture streaming off, streaming quality normal, volumetric quality low, the fray physics quality off, water caustics off, shadow map resolution normal, screen space shadows off, spot shadow quality low, spot cache high, particle lighting normal, ambient occlusion off, screen space reflections high, static reflection quality low, weather grid volumes low, NVIDIA reflex low latency. If you have a medium to like high end build like PC, I'll keep it on. If you're more of like a lower end PC, I'll put it on plus boost. It would just help you out more in game. Depth of field, motion blur, and film grain off, and then 0. You don't want none of this. It's mainly just for just like single player, gives you more realistic feeling. FOV, I have mine at 120, but a lot of professional players, they play between like 100 to like 110. ADS field of view affected, weapon field of view wide, third person field of view 90, vehicle field of view wide, and then least first person ADS and game perspective. So audio mix, I'm on PC, so I have this PC option available for me. But if you're not on PC, I'll probably go with headphone bass boost. That'd probably be the best one to go with. Master volume, you will always want that to be 100. Music, you don't need music, so you can keep that down to 0. Dialogue volume, this is very important, so you don't want to put this at 0. I will keep this at 50 or higher. Effects, you always want this to be 100 because this is like your footsteps, your crates, and whatnot. And then voice chat volume, just personal preference. Subtitles I've off, mono audio off, tinted sound off, Juggernaut music off, hit marker sound effects MW, and then mute game when minimize off. So if you go to color customization, this is where we can make your game pop and make the game from grayish to like a little more colorful. So for color filter, you want to put on filter 2. For color filter target, you want to put on both. And for both the intensities, you want to make sure they're both at 100. Then you want to go to custom. And then you can keep the U, team, party, and contestant all the same. So for the enemy, you want to put the saturation on max and put the brightness on max, just so enemies' outlines are just like stick out more. And then for neutral color, I believe neutral color is on white. So I recently changed this to where it's like a pink color, just so like it's easier to see like pings and any objectives you're doing in Warzone, even in multiplayer too. So yeah, this is definitely gonna make your game look 100 times better. The subtitles off. This is a very underrated setting. Basically what this does is if you have it 100, your mini map and like your UI would be like on the border of your monitor or TV. If you put it to like 0, for example 0, your mini map and your ammo and your UI will be close to like the center, so your eyes are moving less and you're able to look at the minimap quicker than if it was on 100. So I recommend like just putting it below around like 10 or 15. I personally been using this since Warzone been out. Minimap shape, you want square because you can see, I think it's about like 20-30% more of the map. Minimap rotation on, horizontal compass on, crosshairs on, hit marker visuals on, damage base hit markers on. Player names abbreviator, just personal preference. In-game text chat, it's up to you. Fade after 5 seconds. Telemetry, I just have my FPS counter, service latency, And packet loss, like I said, personal preference for everything. Show gameplay tips. Actually, I can have this off. Skip intro movie. Yes, this is a big one right here. You want to skip the intro movie so you go straight into the game. Tooltips off. Alerts on. Menu prompts automatic. Text chat on. Oh wait, why is this even here? Dismemberment and gore effects. Yeah, you want that on. I mean, you want it on. Who doesn't want it on? That's weird that's in here though, an account and network. I'm just damn. So dismemberment and gore effects is in. That's really weird. It should be like, it should be in graphics, but whatever. But yeah, those are my Warzone Season 2 settings. Like I said, I'm on PC, so there's a lot more things you can do to Warzone from Windows and NVIDIA control panel and GeForce Experience, and even like BIOS that can improve your FPS, improve your performance, and you know, probably give you about 20-30 more FPS. But maybe I'll make a video in the future about that, but like that can be a little more confusing than this video. So that's my Warzone Season 2 settings. I'll probably make another one for Season 3. That's it, guys. Hope you guys have a great day and see you later.